an animal. It's rules to the shit. I wrote me a manual, a step-by-step booklet for you to get your game on track, not your wig pushed back. Rule number uno, never let no one know how much dough you hold, cause you know.
What's the number one reason why most women are not wives today? Let me warm y'all up. All right, let me give y'all some extra. So there's a lot of women out here that are complaining that there are no good men out here. All the good men are taken, or all the men are hoes. It's just a whole bunch of responses as far as why they're single, instead of them holding themselves accountable, expressing why they may be single based off what they are doing. It could be they seen a man they didn't like, and now they want to blame everybody for just not saying yes to that good man that they, that wanted them. So why do you think, or what is the number one reason why you think most women are not wives today?
I think women are scared to date potential. Like, you want a man that's already got a career, got an apartment, got whatever you're looking for, and you don't want a man who's maybe struggling but has the plan to get to the destination that you want to get to. You don't want to help with that. Like, you just want it already packaged in. Yeah, exactly. Like, like, and then you go with somebody who's probably got like stuff on paper, like, oh, they have the car, they have the apartment, but they're a trash person. And then you want to say, oh, all men cheat, oh, all men, but you dated the wrong character, the wrong moral compass, like that.
Absolutely, I agree. I think another part of that would be, I think a lot of women are entitled princesses who are unable to self-correct, because I really think they choose not to take accountability for their actions. They choose not to look in the mirror and say, hey, girl, like, maybe you need to fix your attitude. Maybe you need to stop being so self-righteous, selfish. And so instead of doing those things or asking themselves those questions, they would rather blame everyone else. And in this case, the men who they date, kind of like what Stephanie said, as to why they're single. I think that rather I know or have come to understand that a masculine man he's not only willing to teach, but he's also an expectation of his woman to be able to get herself back on the correct path in which she's supposed to be, based on his order, based on his program. And a lot of women, they are, again, incapable of that self-correction. So if he said, oh, I don't like the way you speak to me, she'll say, okay, yeah, whatever. And then she'll just rather continue on down that destructive path. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm going to do what I want to do. He needs to take me as I am, but while expecting him to do all of the changing and adjusting and understanding. But she's not willing to do the same thing. So again, I think the lack thereof, or inability or unwillingness to self-correct, I think that's one of the main reasons, and that's due to their pride and entitlement.
I think it's the upbringing as well. Because who gonna check me, boo boo? Who gonna check me, boo boo?
I'm grown now.
I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. Who's gonna check me, boo boo? Nobody understands to follow the leader. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to follow the leader. And if the leader don't say what you like, you don't want to follow. But that's not how it goes. You know what I'm saying? That's not how it goes. And I always stress this on my channel. I say, listen, you got to do the work inside. You can't just go and ask God for a man. God, send me a man. That's it. You're not even asking him to work out what's going on inside. Because God could have sent you this man 4 times and you missed him. Because you didn't do the work inside. And I always say this, even to the older sisters like me. You talking about God gonna send you a man. You getting up there talking about God gonna send me a man. God gonna send me one. No, he's not. You done missed him 4 times because you didn't work out what's inside. Whatever's going on inside, you didn't want to fix that. Okay, you want him to take you as you are with your attitude, and I'm not gonna cook, I'm not gonna clean, and I ain't gonna make love to you. I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. When you got that attitude talking about God gonna send me a man, you're gonna be alone. That's
So I have 2 things. The first one, I think, is because they are allowing TV and social media to tell them what they want. And the second thing is I think that a lot of women aren't wives today because they don't understand the depth of a relationship, how deep it goes. They are only looking on the outside. So when I say depth, I mean they are allowing a man's shortcoming to be like everything. So what I mean by that is like she will say, she'll probably say something like, well, he has all these, A, B, C, and D, but E is just a little, he's not there yet. And she'll let that one little thing be it. But a lot of women today don't understand that everything you like about him in that moment, longer as you get deep into the relationship, none of that stay the same, baby. Everything changes, and they don't understand that. They think everything they get up front, they think it's gonna be like that forever, but it's not. Because in a relationship, you're constantly growing and changing, and they don't understand that. So when they are getting into these relationships and one thing go wrong, oh, I can't deal with this, da-da-da-da. Nobody wants to fight for each other no more. Like, they don't want to well, maybe I should never use fight, or I guess I'm trying to say, like, they don't want to try to like push themselves to work things out. Everything
it is a fight.
Oh, there's more where you're
to
from,
show
things
grace.
like that. Yeah, so it's just a lot of stubbornness. So they don't understand that just because he's funny now, like, baby girl, he might not be funny 5 years from now. He might be a little mean for for about 2 months.
For a year and a half,
He might be broke for 2 years.
Period.
He might lose his job for 60 days. His mama might have to come live with y'all for 3 weeks. Like, you got to be ready for these things because it's built on like strength. And I think a lot of them don't understand that. They're judging it from the first 2 months, like, oh, he's dead. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think they realize that. And the second thing I wanted to say is, they repeat the stuff that they hear. Like, for an example, some women say, oh, I want a man that has what I have or more. But you're comparing material things, and everybody knows that material things is not love. It don't mean nothing. It only make you feel good for a moment until something new come out. So,
and it can be taken in any minute.
Exactly. So instead of saying, I want a man that make like, a little 6-figure shit. I want a man that makes 6 figures. I want a man that drive this car. How about get you a man, who
of some character.
Exactly. Get you
exactly.
Yeah, because you might come from a
Intangible.
2-parent home, and you might want him to come from a 2-parent home. But because you so caught up into what he drive, you don't even know that he came from all this trauma. So when he acting up, you don't even understand him. So you're just like, I don't know why he's acting like, you know what I'm saying? So
He toxic.
Exactly. So they want to match up material things instead of internal things. I think that's what it is. So
especially on the well, unless he's just like a sad, late night creep, then all of that goes out of the window, right? Very circumstantial, very conditional. God forbid that you, like we were saying, Stephanie, God forbid that your homegirls, and I use homegirls loosely, or your family, like Taki said, we come from these families, these alpha female led type of households, and they are pushing like they always have, you just go to school, you go do this, and you go do that. And that's not just a talking point. Most of us have probably experienced that in our families, who are matriarchy, female led, and very dominant. Or even if there was a man in the household, that was still something that some men might have even pushed. But you are trying to, you may even be that one that wants to kind of move that needle, right? You want to do something different, but with the social media coupled with, these false, unrealistic expectations of women who are downtrodden, and they themselves aren't willing to, own up to their wrongs. They don't want to put forth the effort, and we want to believe that we know everything and we have everything figured out and we're so smart, and what is it called? The FOMO, right? If you just hold on, or hold out, the better man is coming. And I'm here to tell you, the better man will not come, because
have mercy.
my husband at, how old was I? Lord, let me see, 21, 22, and to turn around and get married at 24. If I would have just bypassed him, and I'm going to be honest, I have bypassed other men who were great men too. But if I would have bypassed him, I may not have ever gotten a chance to meet another great man like him. Why? I thought because I looked good, and I was, very pretty. But there's no guarantee that the characteristics that we need in a solid, a solid father, a solid husband, you probably weren't going to get that. So then y'all are going to just continue to go through this lifelong, we're going to sleep with the men that we say we don't want, but then we want to, lie to our homegirls. We're going to lie to our family. And that's going to be a vicious cycle to get up out of. So you're just going to keep going through that, and you're not going to get anywhere because you thought that you were just too good. And like you said, Shaq, you're focusing on that, what I like to call the 80-20. You're focusing heavily on the
20%.
Instead of looking at the majority of the things that are working well. And then what's going to happen? You're going to be 30 plus, 35 plus, 40 plus. Now you're really going to have to deal with whatever you can get, because you have wasted your time and squandered your time. And it's what does my man say, TK Kirkland? It's girls graduating from college every single year. So you've wasted your time, that bus has passed you, and now you're going to just deal with whatever. And you shouldn't put yourself in that situation.
Yeah.
That's nasty.
And so don't forget their favorite line when they, when they like in their mid-30s. I am happy and I'm single. I don't need no man. Baby, bye. You can have all that. I want
Single
one. I need one.
Okay.
And I'm going to have one.
Okay. I know that's right.
Especially if there's kids involved. Come on now.
Exactly.
I got a long list.
Okay, y'all can say what y'all. I don't take out no trash. I ain't killing no bug. I ain't switching no tire. Baby, no. I need a man, and I ain't afraid to say it.
Okay.
And
for yourself.
Amen.
It's that new modern day, mentality. I don't care. The indecisiveness of women. Goodness gracious. The lack of respect for men. They have no respect for men. So how can they even be willing to acquiesce to any man? That's a big one. They lack wife etiquette. Like many of us did not grow up with happy wives. We may have seen some wives, but they weren't happy. And if they were, they didn't express it. They didn't tell us, They weren't open to talking about the man's role, He was quiet. They worked hard. You know what I mean? They sat strong. When they spoke with confidence. What they said, they meant what they said. If they made a promise, they stood on it. Men not like that no more because they've been raised by women. A lot of them behave and act like women.
Wow.
So the women they really don't have that much respect for them. That's a big one. I think women want excitement and they don't know how to sit still. When you are raising children, you have to learn to sit your behind still and raise those children and cater to the man who is assisting you to raise those children.
She said, cater to that man, y'all.
Be selfless. Yes.
It's a real thing. It's a real thing because I don't think us women understand the man's walk. It's not a training that you get. We don't know how they grow up as boys, the young teens, what they go through. As young men, the pressure, the weight of the world on them as Black men, you couldn't even imagine. I mean, I'm aware because I grew up with a lot of boys without a father. So, that connection, them being vulnerable enough for me to see and watch them grow into men, like, it's amazing. And I have to say, boys have learned to acquiesce to us girls. They have learned us women. They know about our minstrels and our emotional uproars and things like that. We don't take the time to learn them. We want what we want. We're very selfish. And I blame the women before us. Their mothers, their grandmothers, their aunts. It's poor training. Like now we push men to the side like we don't need them. We can go to sperm banks and get babies. And y'all know, ladies, ain't no black sperm in the sperm bank for you.
Tell it.
I'm just saying.
It's in high demand, but they're not going there.
It's not really there, right?
I didn't know that.
So a lot of it's the poor training, you know. And y'all, we all said the same stuff, you know. Living on fantasy island, they want this fantasy script world that they're seeing on TV, and it's an illusion, you know. But we shouldn't say they're delusional, so we're gonna say they're living on fantasy island, you know. But if you tell them, you know, we're not nice people for telling them they on fantasy island, you know. You want a man, you might want to listen to the ladies who have them successfully. I mean, that is the best tip that I can give single women. Talk to women who are comfortably married and happy, because it's not about happiness. You ladies are all sitting up here like, I've been with my husband 26 years. It's not about my happiness.
Right.
Wow.
I like him a lot. You know, I liked him before the kids came. You know, I was infatuated with him from first sight. Why lose that? So I needed to be conscious. Women are not conscious at all. They don't care how the man is feeling. We have no room to consider them on their rough days, you know. And I think it all of that, like, we're pretty damn selfish, you know. So when a man sees that you care about him, that you're paying attention to him, oh, he's going to get down and ask you. They know. They know who to play with and put to the side. So begging a man, like, they know. So shout out to you ladies for doing what you did. Keep doing what you did to get them. You understand? That's my advice to you young couples. Keep doing what you was doing. Pay attention and keep rooting for them kids as well as him. Y'all got to be the biggest cheerleaders in the house. And it's hard sometimes, you know, and that's why we need each other. Because you can call one of us and we can say, listen, well, what you going through? All right, I remember when I was there. Now get you a journal. Go get you a shower. Get some candles, you know. You got to take care of yourself a little bit. Get that time. But, you know, having somebody else to call and say, check you, versus pointing the finger at him or the kids, that's a blessing. You know, and I got that from women who weren't married. And that's what I appreciate, because they know my husband. And it's like, wait a minute, don't call me with that. You better get yourself together. So we need each other.
Easy to do. And that's easy to do, to kind of like
absolutely check yourself.
Yeah, it's easy to do, especially when, like, where I'm at a stage where I have 2 under 2, and it's tough. And so it's easy to
2 under 2.
And so it's easy to be like, the baby, I ain't getting no sleep because the baby, he ain't changed the diaper, but sometimes I have to step back and say, hey, well, maybe this is where this is where maybe you could have adjusted a little bit, or maybe you should have opened your mouth and asked for help, because sometimes I can get a little like stubborn and be like, well, I'll just do it, you know.
Supermom.
We're superheroes.
Take your cape off. Sometimes you gotta take your cape off and let him take care of you. So
I mean, you know, them children are our possessions. You know, we push them out. We're very concerned and worried. We might not even think they're doing the right thing. This is their first time being a father. This is the first time we're being mothers, you know. So that grace, showing each other and saying, like she said, saying I need help, that was hard for me. I didn't like it. I needed help. What's wrong with you?
That's strong and independent. That got you in the chokehold.
No, I think it's the fear in the back of the mind, knowing if that other half is not there, we want to be able to be capable. But deep down inside, we know we're not. They're needed and necessary, and that is a fear. That is an insecurity, because they are needed and necessary.
Absolutely.
We are not enough. I'm not enough. I would have never been enough for those girls and that boy.
I am not enough. Wow. I am not enough, but we are enough.
We are enough.
I love that.
Yeah. And then I used to tell them, even if we weren't to be together, we're going to be able to co-parent, because I would never be that person, you know. So I want the people who are not together to just understand that love that y'all have to show each other, the children need to see. Even if y'all don't like each other, just try to be cool. Like, we're so bitter.
Sometimes I'm afraid to ask for,
shame. Hashtag shame.
Sometimes I'm like I'm kind of, well, I'm not gonna say like afraid, but sometimes I don't like asking for help because I don't want my man to see me weak. I want him to know, baby.
Well, you don't want to hear no.
Yeah, that too. That too. And I just
me.
want him to know that I can function. I can get up at 5 a.m. I can go to the gym. I can come home. I can get these kids, get these breakfast, take these kids to these toddler classes, come back, get lunch, come back, play, nap, dinner, boom, feet be burning, but I'm rolling. And then one day
you burnt out.
tell me,
And you burnt out. Exactly.
Then you burnt out.
And then he had to tell me, he was like, you don't gotta do that, and I'm like, I do. He's like, no, you no, I'm here, and I'm like, I'm not weak, but all right.
But then, do you ever feel that do you expect him to like offer to help, or like, don't you see I'm doing it all?
You know what? The first 2 years, yeah, but after that, I'm like, okay, I'm rolling with the punches. But the first 2 years of marriage, I was like that. But as you start moving down the line, things is just,
You realize what
okay.
you know what? Yeah, you know where he fits. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna give y'all a little something that I do. Okay. When I feel that I'm taking on the world, right? I'm taking on everything, the children, my husband, everything, and your body gets weak. You need that energy, right? This is what I want you to do. When you see him on the couch, go lay on him. Go lay on him. Because remember, you have fed the family the energy. You have fed the children. You have fed him the energy. So now your body is weak. So now you need to recharge. Go lay on him. Pull on his beard. Let him hold you because he know you need that recharge. I always stress that so much because this is when he will hold you. You will feel this and you will be able to take on the world again. You understand? So you're feeding the family, you're feeding him, but you need that recharge. Never forget to go sit in his lap. Never forget to get under him. You understand? Because he needs that connection as well. Always keep that intimacy, that connection as long as you can. Don't listen to your auntie, your mama, and all of them. Even when you're mad with them, don't listen to none of them. Just go get that connection with him again. I do it all the time, and I'm going on 16 years married. I still do it to mine. So,
ain't nothing like collapsing in his arms.
Even
just,
ain't nothing like it.
She ain't never lied. I started doing that a couple years ago. When I say recharge, that's it.
Well, I'm scared to get recharged. He might flip me over. I don't need no more kids, y'all. I'm scared.
See?
Listen.
Little flips, little burger flip. You know what I'm saying?
We got to talk about that. We need to make that a main topic, sex.
Yeah.
Because I know y'all, it's a lot of questions. Yeah.
There's two women, actually 2 wives that are, one is like almost a sexologist, and the other one, she, I don't know if you heard of her, Peacock Mama. She has like the herbs and stuff to help with wetness and all of that. Yeah. So yeah.
I'm not, but I'm fresh. Take easy.
Don't pull my jacket, Miss. You said don't pull my jacket. You already know I'm
the troublemakers.
Cut that out.
That's funny.
Y'all can't get none of that. That's a special show.
That's exclusive. That conversation was great, you guys. I wish I could come on camera and contribute, but I do know, Bethany, you haven't answered yet. I want you to be able to do that. So what do you think the number one reason why women are not wives today?
I heard a couple of things already, but I had a list. I would say selfishness, pride, unrealistic expectations, and they don't give grace, and they're not willing to grow with a man. Now, a lot of those things could probably fall under pride because that's kind of like the root of everything. But with the selfishness, I would say if you're raised where you're doing everything yourself, you went to school, you got all these accolades, and then you take your trips, you pay your bills, you have all these things that you bought for yourself. But then when it comes down to a man, you're really like, well, what can you do for me? I do for me. Almost when you hear these talking points, we're like, well, are you going to cook? Are you going to do this? Who gets served first? Oh, I'm going to eat because he has two hands. He can go fix his own plate. Well, part of that selfishness is you're not willing to serve. And as a wife, it kind of goes in your title, in your job description. you have to be willing to serve.
They wasn't told that description is quite long. They wasn't listening.
Y'all see those little memes in Thanksgiving time? You ladies, y'all gonna fix y'all man plate this Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
You're like, yup.
I don't understand why like service has such like a negative connotation. I don't understand like where that went. Like
I don't either.
And they don't realize that serving a man is such a bonus for you. He sees that as, wow, she respects me, she loves me, she's putting herself last behind me, the kid. That's not a bad thing. I think it's honorable. And then you reap the benefits of that on the back end. And that back end could be an hour later, a week later, a month. You don't know how God's gonna bless you because of your duties you're doing up front. So I get the questions all the time from other single girlfriends, married girlfriends. I remember when my husband and I were dating and he was flying back into town and we didn't live together or anything. So he was like, well, come scoop me up from the airport. But he was coming in late. And I'm like, nothing's open. But he was on his little health journey. So I'm like, I'm not going to pick up Whataburger. I'm not going to pick up McDonald's. So I'm like, I got to go to Denny's, honey. You good with that? He was like, yeah. He didn't know, but I picked that up. And my girlfriend was like, what time he get in? I'm like, 11. You gonna leave your house? I'm like, well, yeah. I gotta leave early. He need to get something to eat. It's just, but people question it, and it's like, really? Y'all wouldn't do it? Like, no, he would have Ubered. I'm like, oh no, it's But I was raised with a submissive mother and my parents, and so it was just But I know a lot of people aren't.
Let them friends go. They're gonna be jealous as hell, or they probably jealous. That's how it starts. They're gonna be
The
like,
funny thing is, I have friends majority of my friends are married. I probably have a handful that aren't, but yeah, majority of I'm like, okay, y'all, we're doing something. We're not falling into the percentage of women that aren't married. So I'm like, okay.
Right. Yeah, definitely have them watch this show because a lot of there's wives, it's not just single women. Wives don't serve their man.
True.
Okay. It's more of us ladies. It's not like, okay, you've been in a relationship. No, it's just women in general. They don't think serving a man is of any substance. They think that it's like less than, but it's a very, like you said, honorable thing. You're gonna get it's a benefit for not only him but you. But they look at it as he doesn't deserve it.
And why not?
Right.
Why not?
Because he didn't take the damn trash out. That's why, right? He
I
didn't.
fuss with the ones who are married and have children, and then say, when I say that, we are the priority in this family. Him and I, not the children. Very important. They are the most important, but we're priority. If we're not good, they ain't gonna be good.
Exactly.
And they don't consider that at all. So it's a pushback. My kids is first, but you wouldn't even have them kids if you not for that man.
And when them kids turn 18, they're gonna be out the house.
About the lack of comprehension that's going on in this country. I really do believe that everybody might not be that bright.
They don't like hearing that. They don't like hearing that.
I'm an educator. It's bad for me.
You put your kids in it. I'm like, girl, you need to put that damn man first now. The kids is
you better put that baby down, pick that man up.
Exactly. Okay. The kids is gonna be good. Take care of that man because that man is taking care of. The man is the roof. He the foundation. He's taking care of. Everybody gonna be taken care of.
100%.
But and the funny thing is, if they actually put the man first, if there's a scenario where the kids need to be put first, he'll take a seat back and say, no, get them ready, get them going. It's not a problem, but y'all doing things out of order earlier on. Come on now.
I think
he definitely wants you to make the children. Go ahead, Bella.
Women see, thank you. I think a lot of women see serving a man equates to them being powerless, rather than understanding that femininity and servitude is a gentle power, is a nurturing power, is a fulfilling power. And just as we say, this plate or this food, this dish is made with love. And they say when your food is made with love, it tastes better. The environment you bring in your servitude makes the atmosphere sweeter. Just as for the Christian folk, you want to be a sweet aroma in the nostrils of God. How can you be that sweet aroma? Through you being willing to serve in your heart, and then it translating through your action. But you see a lot of women, they're not willing to serve in their heart first, because of what the selfishness, because of what the pride, because of me. That's why I call them entitled princesses, because princesses expect to be catered to, and being again, just catered to without having to put out or give herself. And in being a wife, and as Mrs. She said in a wife's job description, it says woman servant, but it isn't. But again, it isn't powerless. It's just a title. Just as he's my manservant, he paid the bills, or he's my bodyguard, he's my rock, he's my this. You are to be that as well. And so, as I've said on my channel, ladies, be just as he's your rock, be his net. But they're not willing to be his net. He's your rock in the sense of you recharging on him, as Auntie Takey said, as in him being able to bring your attitude way down, because he helps neutralize all everything you got going on. But just as he's that to you, be his net. Be there to and be willing to catch him when he falls, when he needs a shoulder to lay on. And Mrs. She said a particular word that stuck out to me, which was vulnerability. Can he be vulnerable with you without you turning on him when you're upset in an argument? Because there's a complaint that men have and say, when don't open up to a woman, because she's going to spew out all of your business, or she's going to therapize you. Oh, you probably acting like that because you ain't had no daddy, or because rather than being a friend. These women can't even be good friends to their men, let alone be a wife. And so I think again it comes down to the pride, the ego, and honestly, it's satanic. It's demonic, because Lucifer said, I can be this, I can be that. What is that pride? And all these, they said, well, I need to be served. I. But what about we?
My will.
I'm gonna tell you one thing, Bella. You took us to relationship church, baby. Okay.
Yes.
My bad.
No, that's some good stuff. I like that. Okay.
Could we have a preaching sermon for wives?
My bad, y'all. I ain't meant to get preached on you. I just felt it. I felt it.
No, that was good. That was good. That was good.
Yes.
Okay, Bella. Because I know one thing. Because some of the men that they trying to get, they can't even really get them. So that's what they don't understand either. So because at the end of the day, they want to be catered to too. Just because they got a lot of money, they got a lot of cars and this, that, and the third. Like they still want the same thing. That the men, like the man next to them want too. They want the same thing, but a lot of them don't know that. They don't know that.
It's true. But then I question. I've heard a young lady say, "Oh, I just want a rich man." I didn't say anything because it was close relation. I said in my mind, you don't qualify for that.
Ooh, that's nasty.
Let them know.
You good, because I would have said it. I'd have said it to my mama.
Unfortunately, I know back history, and it's like, you don't respect your own father. What makes you think you're going to respect a man? You gotta. Okay.
Yeah.
This
And if you ask me, the men with the you know, them rich men, they require a whole lot more nowadays.
Oh, yes,
They do.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can't get it
don't
right,
get too craps about your degrees, your
exactly, they don't care.
competence, and all other
Men don't.
things.
They sure don't. They don't care
They say,
about
how
none
much
of
is your
that.
femininity worth? Forget that degree.
Okay.
Okay.
I think they reaching too high. They need to start considering and showing some respect to the average men who open the doors
Yeah.
for them.
Yes,
Exactly.
ma'am.
Be realistic.
Kendra,
Exactly.
we
Mm-hmm.
got a whole
Uh-huh.
show where they tell you I got eight children and 7 baby daddies, and I want somebody who
And
making
they
6 figures.
deserve. No. They say they deserve at this
Yes.
age. You know, I done been through enough and I deserve. You don't deserve shit.
No.
But who
They
told you
sure
Nothing.
to go up
don't.
there and
You don't
they
even know
gonna
how to
treat
say
you
please and
right?
thank
Who
You
you.
don't
tell
You
you
ain't
deserve
even got
that?
no
anything.
manners.
Baby,
Mm-mm.
you so you
Talking about I
deserve.
deserve.
But see,
Can't say please
respect
and
is
thank you.
conditional. That's the problem.
Yes,
Love
it
Uh-oh.
is. Tell
Mm-hmm.
it.
is conditional. They be like, I want unconditional love. What are you talking about? If you stop making me feel the way I want to feel, my love is it's conditional.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it
To
a
do
control
something to get
thing?
me to stop loving you. Sorry. My children, yeah, my love is conditional.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Some things I'm
Or
just
like I said,
not.
is it a control thing? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They
Absolutely.
respect
Yeah,
people who
we're
they can
control freaks.
control.
I can admit it. I've been with my husband 26 years. I absolutely wanted to control things. Absolutely. Children are my possession. Yeah, I say what's happening here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So it was like, I got some say so. And I'm like, you know what? Like, and he just was never like monstrous when he needed to express to me. Like, I do have a say so. I got a vision too. You know, we were
Mm-hmm.
young, 20 and 23. So this
Wow.
is everything was new. Nothing comes with a blueprint. So we had to learn each other along the way.
Mm-hmm.
So there was always some challenges, you know. But I came from an environment of really hood stuff, the hood, you know. So I had to be tamed. I had to learn how to stop and think and listen and don't be offended. So when I say we are pre-offended, yeah, I was absolutely that person. Yeah, I'm pre-offended. What the fuck you
Pre-offended.
say?
Right. Who you talking
Yeah.
to?
Tell it. Tell it.
I'm
Right. Who
serious.
you
You know,
talking
I
to?
say I'm the
Yeah.
baby of boy, so quick to fight. You know, never like that with my husband, but you know, I was very tamed with him, surprisingly, right? Because I'm not like that, you know. So it was just something about him that was like, you know, he ain't standing for that shit.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
no.
And when I would step out of line a little, he was quick to say, "Oh no, like you
Check
said,
that.
take heed." My husband was like,
Mm-mm.
Mm.
But they only
you
like that
know,
in the
and
bedroom, though. They only the
Mm-hmm.
women
yeah,
only
no,
like that
right,
taking hold into in the bedroom, but they don't want it any other place in their life when we need it.
mm-mm.
We
I mean, I was able to
need
be corrected by brothers, you know, and I think women are not having men in their life that have to give them correction, you know, because
Mm-hmm.
mommies
Yeah.
take the lead in most homes, even if there are men, right? It's like, you're going to let her go out and wear that. Yeah, she all right. She's so and so, blah, blah, blah. You ain't got to say nothing. You don't buy her clothes. Like, this is what a lot of men have to deal with.
Mm-mm.
You
You
know
know,
what
but
I
I'm on.
want?
Mm,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
go ahead. I was done. Go ahead, sis.
What I want to say is that a lot of women, they don't understand a high value man, where he's coming from. You want a high value man, but can you really handle his attitude and how he handled things? Because when you have a man that is high value, he wants you to be under his program. You have to sign up for his program. And if you can't sign up for his program, honey, now you got all the women talking about he's toxic,
Yep.
he's controlling, because he won't let you go out there and show your breasts and butt to
And do what you
everybody.
want.
He's controlling now.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, this is the thing. This is the whole problem. Most of us have not been raised by kings. Most of us don't know who our father was, or he was a weekend daddy because mama was doing nonsense. Okay.
Or weak
All
daddy.
right. Listen, that's what we talking. And see, this is the problem. We never saw how mama treated a man. So now we trying to grow up and trying to get in a relationship. And if mama did have a boyfriend, she disrespected the boyfriend. So now as we go into trying to be married and stuff, okay, we trying to bring that same drama to our husband, because I know I did. And when my king saw, he was like, wait a minute, I didn't sign up for this. You're going to have to be trained. He always told me, your mouth is nasty. I'm going to have to fix your mouth. And I used to look at him like, listen. Just like that, listen. And he'd be like, no, you listen. So this is the thing that we want a high value man. These young people, they tell you, I want a high value man, but you don't know if you can sign up for his program. Can you be obedient when he asks you to do something? Can you serve? Can you stop letting people tell you, oh, you just a servant. All you do is serve. When people call me, they say, oh, take heed, you just a servant. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm a servant. Yes, I am. For my husband. That's just my take on it, y'all.
But you know, a lot of women, they don't realize like the way they move. So like I was, blessed enough that my parents been married for a long time and they still are married. And growing up, I watched my mom like I'm still trying to be the wife and mother that she is. Like she's above the bar. Like so I'm just like, wow, I'm glad I had this. So like I didn't realize that when I met my husband and we was just starting out dating, like I was trying to be like her. Like the way I seen her treat my father, and I knew that he was worthy enough as a boyfriend and we was on the same page. And then it's like whenever he met my mother, he was like, he told me, he was like, oh, you get that from your mom. So I was like, oh, you can tell?
Oh,
he was like,
so
yeah,
nice.
because he was like, because I see the way your mom is, with with your dad and her kids. Oh, wow. Like, and he instantly could see it. And like for a minute, I didn't even really like realize that I was like trying to be like her. I just knew what to do. So it's like I was like just conditioned as a little girl growing up. And it's like when I got a good man and I wanted him to keep him and I know I'm somebody's wife material, it's like I just fell into it. And like, and for him to notice that when he met my mom, I was like, wow, my mama did her job. Like, and a lot of women don't understand that they've been like, whoever you're raised under, sometimes you don't realize that you acting like them. So they don't be realizing that. So that's why, like, because I have friends who has, who have like headstrong mothers who had these high careers. So now when they're dating, they're like, how did you find a man? I can't find a man. And I'm like, stop being so headstrong and just chill. Like, chill. Like, it's going to be okay. And I had to tell my friend that because she was just so like, well, I don't know. I can't do him because he don't have this and that. And I said, and if you keep, being headstrong, you ain't going to be able to do no damn body. So, like, you get caught up into being who you was raised by. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And you don't be realizing it because I didn't realize it. Like, I was like, wow, okay. So,
well, that's beautiful to hear. When you have a 23-year-old and an 18-year-old, I can see them, feeling like that in their relationships. My mom was a good role model. She adored my dad. And, when they was little, I would have to tell them how hard their father worked, because they would ask questions. I was one of the mothers. They ask a million questions, y'all. Wait till they get to that age, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 11, 12, 13, they might start pulling away. And that's when you're going to have to pull in. Especially if they're girl. For boys, it's a little different. As long as dad be on them, they be all right. But them girls, yeah. So you
Who's a boy mom?
Me, I got 2.
I got 2.
Me too.
The oldest.
I have no girls. So.
I have one girl.
Yeah,
I had 3.
But Shaq, I wanted to say something to you with your mom. When I had met her, I spoke to her for like 15 minutes because I was
yeah, you did.
I was like, yeah, this is somebody that, for her to be married so long, have, as many kids as she have, I thought that was inspiring. So I just wanted to like talk to her, learn from her. Great person. Yep.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I love my mama.
Yeah. While I was pregnant with Leah, she's 18 now, walking to take the other kid to school, a lady pulled up on me with a big old truck, little country Virginia lady, like a Medea. And we was friends from that day. She's like, I've been seeing you at the school. Do you walk every day? She started picking me up. And she's maybe 12, 15 years older than us. And her husband has been together. So they're kind of been our mentors for the last 18
Oh,
years
that's
from the
so
day we
nice.
met. And they used to have couple game nights. Some couples would leave fighting seriously. Like, yeah. So always giving us tips together, pulling us apart and giving us tips. Even he would pull me to the side and give me tips. She would pull him to the side and give him tips. So we had a lot of mentorship with them. So that was one thing that was a blessing for us as well. Because it was a time when we needed it. We around people who marriages is like, what is going on here? So
Yeah.
I'm telling it.
Find those couples that you can, have mentors, which is definitely a blessing.
That's right.
Yes.
This will be the last show of the Wives panel. We will resume at a later time. Stay tuned for the next collaboration.